Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about proteins. And before I start, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Definitely comment down below what you would like me to do next. So, protein. What is protein? Proteins are macromolecules that serve a vast array of functions within the cell. A complex structure containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. These elements combine to form amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. A balance between protein synthesis and protein breakdown is crucial for preserving cell homeostasis. Now, homeostasis is just a fancy word people use in biology to describe balance. So, for example, osmosis is water homeostasis. Now, athletes may consume excess protein to repair and rebuild skeletal muscle and connective tissue, generally following exercise. Dietary protein has various compositions of amino acids and from a nutritional standpoint can be classified as non-essential and essential amino acids. Adequate dietary intake of amino acids is essential for growth, development, health and the survival for all animals, including us as humans. Now, there are 9 essential and 11 non-essential. Note, when I say non-essential, I don't mean you don't need them. I just mean your body is so clever it can create them generally using the other essential amino acids. Next, I want to talk about nitrogen balance. Now, this term describes the presence of nitrogen in the body and is defined as the balance of nitrogen going into the body in the form of dietary protein and also taking into account the amount of nitrogen lost from the body in terms of excretion, maybe in urine, feces, or sweat. The recommended dietary allowance, so the RDA for protein, is 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, which is proposed to maintain the nitrogen balance in the body of the average adult. I'll put something up of the variations of that for you. Now, maintaining a positive nitrogen balance is optimum for hypertrophy, so gaining muscle mass. Now, next, I want to talk about energy because I think you should recall that in my carbohydrate video I said that carbohydrates aren't even essential. So let's talk about energy in protein. So the amino acid pool. A mixture of amino acids available in the cell. They're derived from dietary protein or the breakdown of protein that might already be there. In the citric acid cycle, a series of chemical reactions used by all aerobic organisms to release stored energy through the oxidation of acetyl-CoA. Now, acetyl-CoA can be derived from macronutrients including amino acids, meaning protein can be broken down and converted into energy that the body can use. Note, fats can also be broken down for energy, but we'll save that for another video. Again, let me know in the comments and I'll do one on that. Next, the biggest question. How much protein do we really need? Now, we spoke about the 0.8 grams per kilogram earlier for the average Joe, but are you the average Joe? Firstly, I'd like to start by saying these values will be unique to you, depending on a variety of factors. For example, your size, your activity level, your age, and even your body composition. It's not a one size fits all process. Now let's think about a 6'4" rugby player, heavy, and a 5'3" ballet dancer. In fact, let's do it like this. A male heavy rugby player at 6'4" and a female 5'3" ballet dancer, light as a feather. They're obviously not going to need the same nutritional requirements. So let's talk about people specifically just looking to gain muscle mass. Now, the stimulation of muscle protein synthesis is assumed to be the primary variable for regulating the maintenance or the gain of skeletal muscle mass. The two main stimuli being your food intake and your physical activity. Research done by Dan Moore at Imperial College London suggests that muscle protein synthesis from food peaks at 3 hours and declines thereafter, suggesting for optimal, and the key is optimal, consumption of protein should be at regular intervals during the day. Let me be clear that this is for growth. By no means am I saying you'll lose your muscle if you don't do this, as long as you're meeting your daily requirements. Now, another study supports this theory, and let me break this one down to you. So, 24 healthy males, no, not a very large sample size, and the details on the participants in terms of all the variables I was talking about earlier aren't actually very clear, but the results are interesting nonetheless. So, split into 3 groups, and they were asked to consume 80 grams of protein over a 12-hour period. So, they split them into these 3 groups. First group, 40 grams every 6 hours. Second group, 20 grams every 3 hours. And lastly, the third group, 10 grams every 1.5 hours. Now, the results suggest that the 20 grams every 3 hours had the greatest anabolic effect. Now, with that said, you can see that they all experience an anabolic effect in some form. So again, the key is optimum, because I see so many people killing themselves over marginal gains, which I completely understand if you're at the highest level of your performance or your sport or whatever you're doing. Very relevant then. But for your average gym goer, take this information on board, but don't let it dictate your life, because if it's not convenient or it's not realistic for you, you can still grow by not doing this. Can I also note that more isn't always better, as the anabolic effect completely seems to plateau afterwards. So any excess, so over that amount, in theory is an added expense on your wallet, and it makes your body do more work than needs be in terms of having to break it down afterwards. If you want a video on maybe the byproducts of protein breakdown, think maybe I'll cover that with BCAAs or something, then let me know in the comments and I'll cover it. But yeah, that's enough for today. Thanks for listening. Keep making them games, and I'll see you on the next video, guys.